Page 3. A Hallowed Pursuit. In the moment, Seamus scanned the chaotic panorama, the distant echoes of violence resonating like a grim symphony, adding a disquieting layer to their conversation. His steely gaze traversed between Amira and Vince, a sense of urgency permeating every word. We can't stay here. Martial law is in progress and the situation is escalating. We need to find a safe place, away from all of this. I don't want any of us getting caught up in the crossfire. Amira, her eyes mirroring the fear that clung to the air like an invisible shroud, nodded in solemn agreement. You're right, Seamus. Let's find somewhere secure, away from all the violence. We can regroup and come up with a plan to find Ruthia. The distant sounds of commotion intensified, a cacophony of chaos that underscored the urgency of their quest for safety amidst the disturbing backdrop of a city spiraling into turmoil. As they began to move, the atmosphere thickened with tension. Suddenly, the harsh glare of flashing lights illuminated the alleyway, and the distant wail of sirens grew louder. The trio exchanged uneasy glances as a formidable presence emerged, a SWAT team advancing from the depths of the alley, their weapons drawn and aimed at violent figures in the distance. Seamus tightened his grip on the situation, his voice edged with urgency. Stay low. Stay quiet. We need to avoid drawing attention to ourselves. The city's under lockdown, and we can't afford to be mistaken for hostiles. His concerned gaze then shifted to Amira. How is your head feeling? Amira, wide-eyed and clearly disturbed by the chaos around them, whispered, dodging the question. This is insane. What's happening to this city? Despite the internal unease, she was holding up, though not at 100%. Vince, ever watchful of their surroundings, responded, Looks like they're trying to do a little bit more than contain the violence. Let's stick together and find a safe route out of here. The trio moved cautiously through the labyrinthine streets, their footsteps echoing against the unsettling symphony of a city in the throes of chaos. As they pressed forward, Seamus persisted. We can't let panic set in. Stay focused on getting to safety and finding Ruthia. We need to navigate through this mess and figure out what's really going on. His reassurance carried a weight of determination. Amira, attempting to push away the overwhelming emotions, finally responded. It won't happen again, Seamus. I wasn't focused. Let's just keep moving. Her voice, though tinged with concern, held a resilient note. Vince, ever the pragmatic force in the group, added, There's gotta be a way out of this madness. We need to stay sharp and watch each other's backs. We'll find a safe place, regroup, and figure out our next move. The trio continued their careful progress through the city's once familiar streets, now cloaked in uncertainty and danger. As they hurriedly navigated the chaotic streets, the clamor of fear and determination echoed in their racing hearts. Each shot a harsh reminder of the escalating violence. The SWAT team unleashed live rounds into the crowded streets, turning the city into a war zone. Despite the mayhem, they clung to their determination, refusing to let despair seize control. The streets pulsed with an unsettling rhythm as they darted through the labyrinthine alleys. Multiple shots reverberated in every direction, creating a disorienting symphony of chaos. Amidst the turmoil, the trio knew that finding a haven would be an uphill battle, but they pressed on, driven by a shared resilience. In a momentary pause, Amira's eyes caught a disturbing tableau at the rear of a vehicle. A young teen boy, seemingly lifeless, lay on the street beneath the bumper. The macabre scene unfolded as another teen appeared to be feeding off his open gut. The grim reality of the situation cast a shadow over their journey, a stark reminder of the brutality that had engulfed the city. Out of nowhere, a man shouted. The trio turned their attention and noticed two older women wrestling the man down as they bit chunks from his neck and shoulder. Then, Vince, Amira, and Seamus all watch as another man takes a shotgun to the woman and man. Vince, grim-faced, muttered, What the fuck, man? We need to keep moving. I need to find Junior and Kate. But we also need to figure out how to get Ruthia out of this mess. Amira, shaken by the gruesome sight, nodded in agreement. You're right. We can't stay out in the opening. Let's get through this and find Ruthia. I'm sure Junior and Kate are fine. There has to be someplace safe left in this city. Seamus, scanning their surroundings with a sense of urgency, added, "Stay close. Stay focused. We can't afford to be sidetracked by the horror around us. Our priority is getting to safety and finding that girl." The trio pressed forward. The city's once familiar streets now transformed into a nightmarish labyrinth where survival demanded both resilience and shared determination. Seamus, the beacon of composure amidst the chaos, spotted a nearby building that appeared to be a haven from the surrounding disorder. "Look over there," he pointed, his voice cutting through the unsettling symphony of the city's descent into anarchy. "That building looks secure. Let's try to get inside and assess the situation." The trio hastened toward the building, their strides gaining urgency as they sought refuge from the madness that had engulfed the streets. As they drew closer, it became evident that the entrance was barricaded, a makeshift barrier erected to ward off potential intruders. Seamus, his mind a whirlwind of strategic considerations, took a deep breath. "We need to find a way in. If we can secure this building, we'll have a safe space to regroup and plan our next move." The weight of responsibility hung in the air as he surveyed the makeshift barricade, contemplating the best course of action. Amira, eyes scanning their surroundings, voiced her concern. "How do we get through this? We can't afford to waste time." Vince, ever practical, replied, "We'll need to find weak points or another entrance. It's our best shot at getting inside without drawing too much attention." Seamus nodded, his gaze fixed on the building's exterior. "Look for any openings, maybe a service entrance or a window. Stay vigilant, but keep low profile. We don't want to attract any unwanted attention." The trio, now a tightly knit unit, began a meticulous examination of the building's perimeter, their collective focus on finding a way inside the potential sanctuary that loomed before them. Vince, perpetually resourceful in the face of adversity, scanned the immediate surroundings, searching for any tools or objects that could aid them in breaching the barricade. "There," he pointed with a sense of discovery. "I see a crowbar near that abandoned vehicle. It might help us break through." Seamus, with a determined nod, and Amira, wide-eyed but resolute, followed Vince towards the abandoned vehicle. Vince swiftly retrieved the crowbar and handed it to Seamus, who took the makeshift tool, a silent understanding passing between them. The trio approached the barricade, the weight of anticipation palpable in the air. Seamus, examining the barricade with a thoughtful gaze, voiced his plan. "We need to be quick and efficient. Once we're in, we'll secure the building and figure out our next steps." Amira, looking around anxiously, added, "I just hope we're not drawing too much attention. This city is a war zone." Vince, with a reassuring grin, responded, "We'll get through this. Stick close, stay quiet, and let's get inside." Seamus, positioning himself in front of the makeshift barrier, steadied his grip on the crowbar. "Here goes nothing." With a forceful motion, he drove the crowbar into a weak point in the barricade, the sound of strained metal cutting through the tense air. The trio, focused and united, held their breath as the barricade yielded, creating an opening for them to breach the secured building. With a mighty swing, Seamus brought the crowbar down on the barricade, the resounding crack of wood splintering filling the air. Bit by bit, they persevered, their collective efforts chiseling away at the barrier until it yielded, creating an opening large enough for them to squeeze through. As they stepped into the building, a palpable sense of relief washed over them. The chaos outside felt distant, the muted calmness of their newfound shelter providing a temporary respite from the urban pandemonium. In the semi-darkness of the building's interior, they took a moment to catch their breath, the echoes of their hurried footsteps replaced by the quiet hum of the enclosed space. Seamus, the architect of their escape, turned to Amira and Vince, a determined spark in his eyes. "We made it,"